Thursday, and it's raining outside. So I know it's probably hard for you to get up this morning, but we up this morning because we are thankful this morning. Are you thankful this morning? Hallelujah. If you're thankful this morning, just go ahead and put in the comment, I'm thankful this morning. We have some special ladies that are coming to speak with us this morning. And I want them to just have the flow this morning. I want them to introduce themselves, and so y'all can see what all they got going on this Thursday morning. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Candace Grayson, and I am the current president for Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Mu Omega Zeta chapter of Natchitoches.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Julia Davis, and I am a member of the Mu Omega Zeta chapter, the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Good morning, I'm Gabby Essex. I'm Miss Old Golden Black for Louisiana and Theta Chi chapter at Northwestern State University.
We have one more in the back.
I'm Sandra Williams. I'm currently Vice President of Mu Omega Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority.
All right, we are so excited this morning, and we want to know what they're up to. Can you tell me what kind of organization this is, and what are y'all doing?
Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated is a community conscience action-oriented organization. We are built on the foundation of the principles of scholarship, service, sisterhood, and finding womanhood. We do a lot of community activities. Right now, our platform is the power of she, and the she is for social justice, health justice, and economic justice.
My, that sounds very interesting. So what inspired y'all to do this organization?
We had 5 founders on the campus of Howard University, and they were approached by our current brothers of Phi Beta Sigma to have a sister organization. And since 1920, we've been in existence.
Wow. And so y'all got something coming up. And I was very excited about it because, you know, I got 2 girls. And so when they were young, they did pageants. And I know how important that is, you know, to for them to bring out their confidence and stuff. And so when my little girls were little, they were in every pageant, and it just really did something to them. They was excited about it. And so when I saw that, I was like, this is good. And so y'all have something coming up. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, we have our first annual Juneteenth Heritage Pageant that's going to be on this Saturday at 4 o'clock at the Martin Luther King Community Center.
All right. And so how does this pageant support the mission of celebrating African American heritage?
It brings confidence and values to the young ladies that's participating, and it's helping them to learn the history of Juneteenth, which is very important.
Wow. And Juneteenth is very important. We have to always keep keep our children up to date as what's going on and stuff. So what are you ladies? I want to hear from some of y'all back here in the back and they quiet. We want to hear from them back there in the back.
So for me, I joined Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated in 2023 spring. I did join at a school in Florida, Stetson University, the Alpha Chi chapter. And as soon as I joined, I got right into doing a lot of community service, a lot of work with the DeLand area. And one of the things that I was able to do was help out our brother fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma.
Wow.
And I helped them with their pageant. And, you know, it was the first time they were doing it. And they were like, Julia, we don't know where to start. I personally have never competed in pageants, but I was a dancer, I was a cheerleader, and I have a ton of friends that did pageants, and I would always help them backstage.
Wow.
So I kind of knew the inner workings of everything, and ever since then I've loved, helping out with the pageants. I did it for 2 years in a row with them, and then once I moved to Louisiana, I was able to judge the Miss Old Gold and Black pageant that Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity had on campus, and once, Miss Grayson over here saw me doing that, she was like, well, you part of the chapter, and we could use you in any way that we could possibly get. So she asked me if I wanted to help coordinate this pageant, and that's kind of how I got into it. And it's been a great experience working with the younger generation instead of just college level students.
Okay. What about you back here in the back here?
So I'm a freshman at Northwestern State University. Miss Old Golden Black for Theta Chi chapter was my first actual pageant, and it kind of opened the door for a lot of things in myself, opening that confidence, speaking out in front of people, just encouraging the little girl in me to put your mind to anything, you can do it.
Right.
After that, I advanced to the Miss Old Golden Black district pageant for Louisiana, and I won the state title. Miss Julie was my judge for the first one, and they asked me to come help with the Juneteenth pageant, and it was great. I think these girls have like a journey amongst themselves, kind of find their voice. They're getting out of their comfort zone, and it's beautiful to see them kind of blossom to the person that they are. I work with the high school age, so it's very fundamental that they find their voice, find who they want to be. I think this is a great opportunity to do that.
Wow, so this is just not no ordinary pageant. You know, y'all really just pouring into the girls, you know, and that's very important because I have a Diamond Maid mentor me, and, you know, we pour into the girls, and we need more of that. You know, not just no one avenue. We need several avenues where girls say, hey, well, I might feel comfortable over here. You know, so that's awesome. Okay, why was Juneteenth chosen as like the focus of the event?
Well, I became president in July, took my term in July, and I wanted to think of something that would make a difference and something that was different for the community. And since our sorority has extreme ties to Juneteenth, because the grandmother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee, is a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
Wow.
So that's the avenue I wanted to take, and then I just selected a team of people, and it just kind of ran from there. Our ages are from 5 to 17, and so we have 3 categories, and that's kind of unique because we're starting with them young, like at 5 to 8 is our little miss.
Wow.
So 12 to 13 is our, 9 to 12 is our junior miss, and then 13 to 17 is our miss.
Wow.
So we have 3 different categories, and that has been a joy and interesting to watch them grow.
That's amazing. So you can be in it all the way up to 17.
Yes.
So that's a good age number. So what impact do you hope this pageant will have on local community?
We hope that it continues to spread awareness about Juneteenth and the significance of Juneteenth. A lot of our history is trying to be erased and it's not talked about, and we hope that this pageant will continue to keep that Juneteenth in the forefront.
That's good. That's good. Keeping it in the forefront. I like the way you said that. And so I see how y'all dressed in blue, and she told me right here, what's your name again?
Julia Davis.
How y'all met. So how did you come into with these ladies?
So Miss Julia was my judge of my first pageant of the Miss Old Gold and Black pageant, and I'm very like involved in the community, and like me and her kind of had that connection with wanting to be involved and wanting to host different things. And they reached out to me. They're a wonderful organization. They always are very present in Natchitoches, so I was so excited to do it.
Wow. And I'm going to grab back into her wave in the back there because we want to hear you too. So come on up just a little bit further and just tell us, how did you become a part of this group?
I became a part of this group actually in 1990. I went to school at Northwestern State University, and most of my best friends were actually part of this organization.
Wow.
But I worked part-time, you know, for my dad. I was going to school, so I didn't even try to join at that time. So as soon as they founded a grad chapter in Natchitoches, then I was able to join this sorority, and it was 8 of us on the very first line.
Wow.
And we've been trying to keep it going ever since.
Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. So I'm going to shift right on back over here to you. How important is it for you to be involved in preserving the African American culture and history?
It is very important. Like I said, it's our history that there are some people are trying to erase, and it's a part of who we are. And we have made a significant difference in the community.
Right.
And we just need to keep that going.
Right. So how do y'all go about choosing your girls? Or do y'all have like advertisement?
We had an advertisement application process, and we didn't turn anybody down.
Okay.
So if you wanted to be in the pageant, you could be in the pageant.
And is it still open?
The registration is closed because our pageant is actually this Saturday.
Okay. And so how, for next year, what can we tell the people? How can they join if they have a young girl? Or
They can watch our Facebook page and look for the announcement. I've actually had parents to reach out to me asking if it's too late, and I've started an email chain.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep up with those, and when it's time, I'm going to reach out and give them the information.
Okay. And so do you have a Facebook page now that we can put up for the parents?
We do have a Facebook page, and
She's
it's
gonna type
the
it for you.
Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated Mu Omega Zeta chapter.
Okay, so parents, if you want your daughter to join for next year, we're putting up the Facebook page for you. This is something, I'm telling you, it's exciting because we have to keep our girls involved in activities. And like they say earlier, you know, this is, they want to know who they're becoming. So when we have stuff like this, you know, the girls are able to tap in, you know, to the beauty, you know, of just being beautiful. They're already beautiful, but, you know, this just brings out the beauty even more in them. Okay, what else? You have anything?
And they're building relationships and social skills being together. And that's in a different atmosphere versus school. And this is kind of like a different setting for them.
Right. So that's good. But what message do you hope the contestants take away from participating? Each girl is different. They're unique. You might have some girls that are very challenging. So what message do you want the girls to take away?
Yeah, I've been working directly with them.
So I would say for sure a message that we want them to take away from this is that scoot up a little bit. A message that we want them to take away from this is that it does not matter, what you look like, where you come from. Everybody has a voice, and it's important that you use yours. Beauty comes from within, and just again educating them on their culture, even though it's trying to be erased from the school system, especially. We're just trying to pour back into them and teach them things that they may not learn anymore in school.
Wow, that's good, and that's very important. So what about you?
One thing I kind of like pour into them every practice we had is that Black women or Black girls, like, bet on yourself every time, because you're going to be on that front line. They have something installed in each one of these girls, so like they have queen-like mannerisms.
Wow.
And I try to tell them, like, you're already a queen. You're just proving them that. Like, you know that. Just let the judges know that. So they're not coming in here knowing, like, not knowing anything. They know, like, they're confident in themselves. They have those talking skills. They have that opportunity, and to definitely take every opportunity.
That's good. They already know that they're a queen. That's big right there. So they're not walking in saying, okay, what am I, man? I'm not confident enough. So y'all build them up. You're already a queen. That is big right there. That'll preach right there, I'm telling you. So how are the contestants judged?
So we have the 3 categories. The first category is their introduction, which is a dance. They're going to be doing a little opening number to Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce. And then they're going to say their name, just their grade and stuff like that. We kind of keep it simple because, like we said, we have from ages 5 all the way up to 17. So, just they say their name and their grade, and they're able to then show their stage presence through them introducing themselves and doing the dance. It is interactive. There's like little 3 parts to it. There's the younger ones that come in first, the older ones, and they end it all together. That'll be the introductory part, and then they go on to the African attire. And that one is just them showing off. It's kind of like an outfit of choice. Their spin or their take on African attire, whether it be a full dress or just a skirt with some accessories, all African prints. We gave them full free reign of what kind of color scheme they want to do. All of that's up to them, and that's just them, again, showing their stage presence. The last category is for the Little Miss, and for Junior Miss, we have Sunday's Best.
Right.
And then for the older girls, for the Miss title, it's a formal wear.
Okay.
And they just get a chance to dress up, in their best dresses possible. And then they have a question and answer portion at that point, too. And then for the younger ones, they kind of have a, what do you want to be when you grow up? What's your favorite subject? And little questions like that. But for the older girls, we want them to really explain to the judges in the crowd what Juneteenth means to them, why is it important. And Ms. Gabby has worked with the older ones, so she can kind of tell you a little bit more what they're going to be judged on for that question and answer part.
Okay. So the older ones.
So during mock question, we kind of went over like more in-depth questions about the girls, like who's your biggest role model. We'll go over like what's their platform, how important they think community involvement is going to be. Their question, I think, will be,
what does Juneteenth mean to you, and why is it important?
Correct. So these girls have been kind of preparing for this question, kind of maturing like their answers, formatting, talking to an audience and the judges. So I'm super excited to see.
Okay. So y'all separate them and y'all judge them, according to the questions and stuff, basically. Wow. So how big is parent involvement?
It's everything, honestly. We would not be able to pull this off without parents because, we've got parents coming from Shreveport. I think there's some from Kishada as well. I think, Kishada too. We've got them coming from near and far wide, all that. So without these parents being involved, it wouldn't be able to go off. Parents have to, buy the outfits, make sure they're at practice, make sure they're practicing at home because practice was every other Sunday for about an hour and a half usually. So they have an hour and a half with us, but back home it was, down to the parents to, make sure their child's practicing, even down to them saying their name and, saying it out loud and, projecting their voice. We worked on it in practice for sure, but without the parents, they wouldn't get that, hands-on practice. And like I said, even down to the outfits, without the parents, we wouldn't have it.
I know dealing with younger children, it can really be challenging. What do y'all do is you have, if you have a younger child that's really not feeling it, And, you know, sometimes the parent wants them to still do it because that's important. You know, just because a child is not feeling it, sometimes it takes a little pressure to kind of push them a little bit. So how do y'all accommodate?
So for me, I'm working with the Little Miss category, which is about 5 to 8 year olds. And with them, I kind of just, you know, we've had those few that, you know, attention span goes like this.
Yes.
It's pretty quick how that attention span goes. But I think what helps a lot is that we break it up. So we'll we'll work on the dance for a little bit, then we'll go take a break. And then we'll come back and have like a circle time where we're just talking about, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, you know, what is your favorite subject in school?
Right.
And then we go back to working on the dance. And of course you have some that are like, oh, I want to go do this, I want to do that. But we kind of just show them more of like, hey, this is, you know, what's going to happen. You know, these are like some crowns that you could win. These are, you know, some certificates you could get.
Keeping them engaged.
And a lot of them have very big personalities. So I'm really excited for everybody to see the younger ones, because at first they kind of came in kind of shy, quiet, but now you can't tell them nothing. Like they are all out there. They are ready to do their poses. They are so ready for that crown. And I think what's motivating them the most to stay focused is the crown, and then just knowing they get to wear pretty dresses. So just reminding them of those things, and telling them again, this is a fun summer activity you can go back to school and talk about. All that just kind of keeps them focused and engaged for sure.
That is good. I'm interested already. I wish I had some little girls or somebody that could go off in there. You know, Dora, you got one. My God, we need to throw it in there. You know, she would love that. And so I know that, you know, like I had told you earlier, I deal with girls, and I have Diamond Maid mentorship, and it can be very challenging getting the funds for this type of event. And I'm talking about this is a major event, you know, and you need funds for it. So how challenging is that for you?
It was a little challenging, but not as much. What we did is we are having a digital ad book.
Okay.
And so vendors and people and organizations were able to take out ads to be displayed in the book. And so that's where a majority of our funds came from.
Okay.
And they get to put their picture of their contestant or their business or whatever it is that they wanted to share with us. They were able to put it in the ad book.
Right, so that was pretty simple for you. That's good. Well, how long does it take to organize an event like this?
Well, like I said, I took office in July, and then we started in August.
Yes, we started
in
since
August.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
wow. So y'all been busy ever since. And so how do you gather up the girls as far as how do you get in contact with them? I know as far as advertisement, but do you do any outreach or go out and or how do you do that?
What are you saying?
Like, do you reach out to parents, like certain parents that you know? Do you give them a call, or it's just advertisement?
Oh, yeah, it was just advertisement. And we do have a parent group meet for our young ladies.
Okay. What has community response been like so far?
It has been great, and we tried to make this a community involved event. For example, we reached out to the different community leaders to be involved. Our MC is actually Pastor Al Harris, Senior, and Miss Co-Pastor Lisa. We got our judges out of the community. We, as far as our crowning, that was something else that we did that's unique. Because we don't have any current queens, we asked that the Alpha Kappa Alpha debutante queen our little ones, and then we have Miss Crew of the Nine to queen our juniors, and then Miss Crew of Excellence going to crown our Miss Juneteenth.
That is so exciting! I'm telling you, I'm just so excited about that. So, what makes this pageant different from any other pageant?
Well, I think our pageant is different because we don't set limits on the age. We start early. Like most pageants are for high school age young ladies.
Right.
And ours start from kindergarten.
Okay. Wow. So everybody got a chance.
Everybody got a chance.
Wow. And so how do you hope this event to grow in the future? What are the future plans for this event?
Well, we hope that this being our first one, that it's going to be an annual event, and we can build off this one.
Okay, so you're looking at a long time down the road. Well, I think this is very, very good for the girls and parents. If you're out there listening and you still have time for next year to sign your girls up, get with her right away. We want to see this thing just explode. This is good for our girls. We need more events like this. Okay, so how does the pageant within itself encourage and you probably already spoke on this, the confidence and the self-esteem of the young ladies? what have you saw in the past?
So I will say, like I said before, my experience at first before this pageant was strictly college age young ladies. Seeing them, when you come in with college age girls, some of them already have the confidence. They join because they know, like, oh, I want to have this title, I want to, or win this scholarship money. So when I transfer with like the younger ones, some of them, like I said, they already came in with big personalities, and some were more quiet and reserved. Just to encourage them, we make sure that we just kind of give them life lessons. I'm sure that all their parents, for sure, their moms especially, are the backbones of their families, and we kind of tell them, like, a lot of the girls want to be certain occupations when they grow up because of their mom.
Wow.
So seeing their confidence grow from, like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do,
right,
to, oh no, I want to be on stage, but I know that once I get off stage, I want to be a nurse, like my mom, or I want to work in, a managerial position because my mom does. So kind of showing them that, like, hey, there's many things you can do. This pageant isn't your only limit. Like, you're more than just, pretty face, but it helps to have that confidence for sure. But you can do more than that, and that's the whole point of bringing it back to Juneteenth, is empowering the youth, especially in the Black community, because, like I said, women are the backbone of the Black community for sure, and showing them that Miss Opal is the Queen of Juneteenth, but throughout all of it, they're more than welcome to do whatever they need to get that crown and build their confidence.
All right, y'all, we're getting ready to take a break, and we'll see y'all back in a few minutes on 95.9 The Bounce. All right. Now, now I got about 7 more questions, so y'all gonna have to really.
We're gonna get to more about power of she too.
Knowing the pest is harmful to you. Take back control today. Call owner Preston Durr at 318-664-2988. Terminator Pest Management. Eliminate the problem.
Now is the time to move into 500 North Apartments in Natchitoches, because we're offering limited time move-in incentives.
Anita on that this morning. Good morning, y'all.
And receive $50 just
Good morning,
for submitting
Sharon.
your application. Know someone looking? Refer a friend and earn $250
Morning, Miss
when they
Carolyn.
get approved and move in. And that's not all. New residents may
I got my
qualify
glasses
for
on, so I can't
$500
see everybody.
move-in bonus.
Alicia
Plus,
Radio.
your rent is based on your income, making it truly
Radio. Those are
spacious
sorority
2,
sisters
3,
that
and
are
4-bedroom apartments are available
Morning,
now.
Miss Mill.
They won't
Faith
last long.
Johnson.
Call
Johnson, good morning, y'all.
318-343.
Y'all got some girls. Let's get them signed up for next year.
500 North Apartments. Affordable living with real rewards.
Good morning, we're back. If you're on with 95.9 The Bounce, we got some wonderful ladies here that has joined us this morning. And I'm so excited. If y'all have any little girls, y'all need to get them signed up for next year. They're getting ready to step out big, and I'm just so excited for them. We're going to go into our next session.
I'm going to talk a little bit about our sorority and the things that we do in the community. President Grayson mentioned that our worldwide initiative is called the Extraordinary Power of She. She, S is for social, like she said, health, and economic justice. And so with the social, some things that we do in the community, we do try to do voter registration drives. We've done several of those in the past. We also get with the D9 organizations, and we did the stroll to the poll. We do that for every election. And most recently, when the bus came to town, when the city and the bus came from New Orleans, we actually went down, and some of our sorors were actually got on the bus and went down and voted that day. So that was something very important to be involved in with the community. We also, under health, some things that we do quite a bit with health justice. We try to bring awareness to breast cancer awareness. We have a program actually at a local church every year. We've done several churches in Natchitoches and churches outside of Natchitoches also. And we actually present the material. We set up a display. We talk about it. We actually give gifts to the survivors. We also bring awareness to premature health, especially for our young ladies, when they're actually pregnant and just trying to get them the help that they need. So we do a program again at a local church. We do that in November of every year. So whatever churches that we're invited to, if some of y'all want to invite us, we can come out and see y'all too. And we also go outside the parish. We also do an autism walk. It's got to be a pretty big thing. We've done 4 this year. We do it at City Park, bringing awareness, and we have speakers, and we've had parents, and we've also had speakers that had autism. We had a young man a few years ago who actually just went to college, got his degree and everything, and came and spoke to us. He wrote a book, and did autographed books there. So we try to promote that every year. We just finished with a mental health event, and where we had Miss Tawana Harris was our guest speaker. We also did a panel discussion that turned out to be very emotional. Once we start talking about those things, everybody kind of get involved, and then that's their relief.
Right.
So like we got up and started handing out tissue and water and everything, so everybody just got so emotional, but it was a really good event. We do scholarships. We actually just did, I think it was 4 or 5 scholarships that we gave out, to local students, and we have a reception for them. We invite the parents to come, so it's good for them and their parents, for them to be honored for what they actually did and what they tried to accomplish in school. We do, for our domestic violence victims, we do what we call All Things Purple Basket, where we collect purple items for the women in shelters and their children. We want them to feel loved. We want them to know that we care about them, and that's another initiative that was started through Zeta Phi Beta. So we've done that, I think, for 3 years now. So we plan to continue to do that. We like to come to community events. We go to Which Way to Main Street, hand out a little candy, play with the kids and stuff. What am I missing? We do a Zetas Have Heart, where we do Zumba, just try to get us fit and keep us fit. We also try to attend events of other D9 organizations, the Deltas and the AKs. When they're having events, we try to support them, and they support us as well. And we really appreciate that. And I'm going to say we appreciate Miss Tori because she covers all of our events. Even when I forget to invite her sometimes, I see it covered. So we really appreciate that. And the programs that I just named, the events that we do, it comes under, we call it Z-Hope, which is Zetas helping other people excel. So that's what we're about, going out into the community and doing what we can. We do a lot with Council on Aging. We do the fan drive, the blanket drive. Matter of fact, yesterday, we recently went, they had the Older Americans Day, and we actually attended the event and served lunch after the event.
Wow. That is a lot.
We stay busy.
All of this is going on in Natchitoches?
All this going on in Natchitoches.
Oh
And
my
we
God.
also actually adopt a school. And our school that we adopted this year has been Fairview Alpha, because it's the kind of outside of the parish.
Right.
And that has been interesting. We provide support for their PBIS program,
Right.
the Positive Behavior Support Intervention program. And we also honor and recognize teachers by taking like donuts and just kind of letting them know that we're there for them and we appreciate what they do.
Right.
And we actually did the coat drive.
And the coat drive, yeah.
Wow.
And we had a anti-bullying essay contest.
Wow.
And with Fairview Alpha, and we have winners.
Do y'all hear all that out there this morning? These ladies, I'm telling you, they are busy, and I'm so glad that y'all come on because some people don't know all of this, and some of us are not social media fans. We don't get on social media, but the word really need to get out because I really feel like that it is much needed. Everything you're doing, everything you spoke about, it's needed, so, okay. You want to say something?
Yeah, so one of the favorite things that I did with Fairview Alpha was we had our, was Dr. Seuss Day, I think it was called?
Read Across America.
Yes, Read Across America Day, and I love getting to go to the schools. I'm not from Natchitoches originally, so
Right.
this is, I would say for sure, Mu Omega Zeta is like my family away from my family. I'm originally from New York, and then I moved to Florida and moved over here. So if it wasn't for Mu Omega Zeta, if it wasn't for Ms. Grayson and Ms. Belinda Turner coming in and taking me under their wing when I first moved here, I don't really know if I would be as active in the community as I am. And I do work at Northwestern State University as the Director of Enhanced Academic Programming for Athletics. Came to NSU to get my master's degree and stayed for the community and the family. without Mega Zeta and all their community service initiatives, I probably wouldn't be as active as I am. But I really do appreciate these women for bringing me in for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. Back to you.
One of the other initiatives I was just thinking of is we have Women Who Win. It's one of our international initiatives, and what it does is supports local women that are in businesses, and we recognize them.
Wow.
Now, our sorority locally haven't actually done a program yet, but that's one of our national initiatives that we have.
Wow. And I just have to ask this question. With all of this these y'all ladies do, how in the world do you balance? Because I know some of y'all have families. I don't know, maybe y'all have children. How do you balance that?
Well, quite a few of us are retired right now, so we pull them out early in the morning to come out and help out. And there's other ways that Soros, who's working, can contribute. Like we do March of Dimes, we donate to March of Dimes, we donate to St. Jude's. When we donate the fans and stuff, they may not be able to be there to help us physically, but they can always contribute. We also, but most of the time they do show up, especially for the afternoon activities. But you just have to try to get it together. Like I don't have to really balance because it's just me and my mom. But for some of the younger ones with kids, they do show up. They do come out and do as much as they can.
Right.
But we just try to keep it going. When we get there, we try to have at least 4 sorors at each event, and a lot of times it's more than that. So we appreciate that.
That's good. I know one thing else that I'm thinking about, as y'all talking, is very important when you're doing type of stuff like this, that you get the right people on your team.
Exactly.
And as me being a minister, I'm like, I can look and tell that everybody's here is for it. So it's very important. So how do y'all go about choosing the right person? Because everybody that said they want to be in it, they ain't really in it. I know that was kind of like a hard question there.
Well, I can say for this pageant, I was very intentional about the committee. They were appointed. They weren't just a sign up. They were appointed. And it was basically like she's our vice president. She's my right hand.
Okay.
So she was definitely on the team. We have an awesome social media communications young lady that she puts all of our Facebook stuff up, and she was definitely on the team. And the other ones just were, randomly selected based on their availabilities and their experiences. And then when Miss Gabby came on, I was like, oh, it's falling into place now. Because I told them, y'all can have it. Hey.
Wow.
That's exactly what she did. She kind of just so she's like, Julia, need you for this, and she's like, oh, I got Gabby. She's like, you two just take over everything. I would say for sure picking the right team is very, very important, because behind the scenes, Miss Grace and Miss Williams, they've all got it behind the scenes. Me and Gabby are definitely the dealing with the girls more, and making up the dances and interacting with parents. But we could not, just us three just couldn't do it by ourselves. If it wasn't for our whole team, we wouldn't have been able to pull it off, honestly.
Yeah, and not just with our team, our other sorors help
They
out in other ways.
They
They volunteer, they help us out, they help come to practice. We'll have a concession stand at the event, and they'll be working the concession, working the door. So we have help all around. Even though they may not be on the committee, they still support us.
Because we have sponsors. This is one of the things we did.
Right.
We assigned each young lady like 2 sponsors that are, members of the sorority. And so that was their contribution as far as the pageant.
Wow.
And they are
That's
very
amazing.
supportive.
Okay, and I heard something else you said earlier. You said, delegate. And, not just, and that is so very important. Y'all don't know y'all helping me. I'm telling you. Y'all helping me. Because if you can't delegate,
Right.
come on, you in trouble. We don't have to do it all by ourselves. So when I heard you say, you pass it on to her, you know how to pass the torch.
Yes, absolutely.
Not everybody know how to pass that torch on. I want to be seen. It's just me and mine. And I've been knowing you for a minute, and I'm just amazed by everything you're saying, because I didn't know you had all this in you. And so just excuse me if I'm just like, oh my God, she got all of this up in there. What in the world? And so go ahead, continue on.
I really kind of like to be in the background. I don't like to be in the forefront.
Right.
I stay up a lot of late nights with the paperwork.
Okay.
But overall, it's our sorority members. We have an excellent group of young women, and they really we support each other. And the sisterhood is very important.
Right.
And we just kind of help each other out and hold each other up, and that's one of the important things, and that's how we're able to do a lot of things.
Right, by supporting each other, and that's very important, because back in the day when I thought about sorority, I'm thinking about something totally different. And so y'all, I'm like, okay, what kind of sorority you got going on there? And so it's very important, and I like the way y'all explaining it to everybody. We are family. What I'm hearing is family.
Yes.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood, yes,
Right.
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, and so this is amazing. So what are we expecting Saturday? Come on, give us a little piece of something.
So for Saturday, you're going to be expecting, like I said, those 3 categories of the opening introduction, the African attire, and the Sunday's best formal wear. You're going to be expecting a lot of, I say personality. I keep going back to that word, but it's just truly learning all these girls and seeing their personalities come through. We had parents watch our run through of the rehearsal last Sunday, and some of them were like, I didn't know my daughter was even doing that. I didn't know she was like capable. We had one parent with one of the younger ones. She was like, oh, okay, wait, you have rhythm. Like, okay, you got it. So, you're going to see a lot of personality. The younger ones are just adorable. Like, I think they're just adorable, and they love it. They love the spotlight. And the older girls, they're, it's kind of them coming into themselves.
Right.
Seeing them, even just down to Miss Gabby teaching them how to walk in their heels, which is, to some might think, okay, it's a little minor task, but no, it's like a big deal to be able to, be able to walk in your heels and feel confident, stand up straight, enunciate well, and project your voice. So you're going to be expecting a lot of, just a lot of personality, a lot of fun, just bringing and shedding a light into the Black community, our culture, and just why we are who we are.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we will have some entertainment on Saturday in between.
Thanks. Yeah.
We're getting ready to take another little break, y'all, and we'll be back in a minute. That's good.
In times of loss,
Now I'm going to
deserve
ask you,
compassion you can trust.
what happens behind the scenes as far as when you have a challenge? If you want to share that, kind of like, what I mean by that, what happened there, like,
Located at
we need to
8533
check into this because this is not right. We need to go ahead and redirect this. Kind of like that type of question. Have y'all, or if y'all had any challenge?
Oh, okay, this page. I was thinking about one of my young ones, who was a feeling it, and her mom
Oh, yeah.
bring her back. And,
The other day. Yeah.
Guided
I've
by
had some older
compassion,
girls come and
driven by
contact me about
integrity.
like getting
When
out
the
of the show,
time
like
comes,
struggling with
let
confidence.
Moses and Francis Funeral Home walk with
Yeah,
your
that's
family.
Okay.
Call us today
Anything else y'all want to talk about?
302-9552. Moses and Francis
you got
Funeral
anything
Home.
else coming up?
Here for you with
Not
heart.
after the pageant, to kind of like take a little break.
Y'all just passed the hairs.
This is his song, Pastor Harris.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure is.
My sister watching this in Houston.
It's my mom.
Can rap. You ain't done me. Pastor Harris, if you listening out there, I can't believe this. We need to have this on radio everywhere.
My mom is in Florida and my family in New York.
Oh, hey family.
I guess we can talk about it afterwards. What do we do after this? How we do set for the new year, not conferences and stuff.
And there's also the queens of each category.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be in the Juneteenth pageant.
The parade and stuff.
Parade, pageant, parade, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay. I can go that route.
Yeah, we can talk about challenges With the little ones, that you know, get a little.
And I'll do what's next for us. Let it in, sing, and sing. Huh?
And I still got it, but it's kind of scratched up now. The whole play is good. Some songs fun.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh, my sister just reminded me how we got contestants too. Take that to the summer contest. Yes, good counselors. No, she's a teacher.
Team Seekings.
Good morning and welcome back to 95.9 The Bounce, y'all. If y'all been listening this morning, I'm telling you, you ought to be excited on a Thursday morning. But let me tell y'all something. Before you start your day, I want you to make time to go purchase these books online, Dismantling Jezebel and Her Tactics, and I Am a Child Year Woman, none other than Prophetess Christine Pier, myself. Make time to go purchase these books, y'all. I promise you, you will not regret it. Well, we're back, y'all, and we're talking to some wonderful ladies this morning, and I've asked them a question because I know when you're doing this type of event, you know, there are some challenges. And so I want to know what goes on behind the scene, ladies.
All right, so I'll let Miss Gabby speak first with the older girls, the junior miss and miss girls.
So for that one, I have a lot of girls that come in. They're just kind of like discovering themselves. It's a high school age, like I said, very fundamental. They come in, they are kind of shy. They don't have like much confidence, especially with, like Julia said, pageant skills are a little bit different. Like everybody knows how to walk in heels, but like to properly walk in heels, or everybody knows how to talk, but to project formally the judges into a space, to the atmosphere is completely different. So, I mean, I would have girls text me in the morning of like any day, just like, hey, Miss Gabby, like I'm just like out of it. Like I don't have a lot of confidence. Like it's kind of getting to me. I'm like, no. Like we talk through it just for them to get to know themselves.
Right.
I said earlier that they already have that queen mannerism in them. It's just projecting it to the public.
Wow.
Yes.
That's good.
And for me, I have the younger ones, the little miss category. A lot of them, like we were talking about earlier, it's just the attention span sometimes. And you know, we had one last week at practice that she just wasn't having a good day. Was not having a good day. Thankfully, parents were there, so her mom kind of took her outside, talked to her a little bit, brought her back in, and I had her sit with me for a little bit. Sometimes it's not about okay, well, we're just like gonna stop practice. No, sometimes you just need to take that one, have them sit with you to the side. I had her be my little helper for a little bit, give them a job, give them a task, and that'll kind of recenter their mind. And then once that was done, she went back and did great.
Wow.
A lot of them too, I would say, for the younger ones, challenges that we see is that they just they just want to, they see a pretty crown, they just want to wear the crown. They don't, you know, they just see the dance, they just want to do the dance, they want to do their own thing.
Right.
But kind of teaching them a little bit of, you know, just teaching them structure, kind of adding on to what their parents already have instilled in them, just kind of seeing it through all the way and just helping them out.
Good. And you had said something earlier about a stage. I really want to hear about that.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did say something on stage earlier. Yes. So, you know, this is our first year doing this pageant.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for next year, we know what we want to do and just different things that we want to add to it. And one of them was just a bigger stage. We are so grateful to the space that we have now, and then for just letting us have this pageant go on. But for one, their introduction dance has a lot of moving parts, a lot of, you know, coming off stage, coming on stage. The one that we have right now just wasn't like that big enough for what we needed,
Right.
the amount of girls that we have. So one of our stars had the idea of just, you know, why don't we just have them do the dance, like, you know, kind of in front of the stage, and then when they go present themselves in dresses, then they can use the stage. So I've had to, you know, rework it, do a little bit of different formations.
Right.
A lot of our stars gave us ideas on how we could even do the chair spacing, so
Right.
that way everybody is seen still, because, you know, I want parents and their families to see their child for sure. So we kind of had to regroup and readjust when it came to that, but it was a really quick fix. And again, you know, we're just so grateful to the MLK Center for allowing us to have this event.
Wow, that's amazing. And so I have to ask this question, and y'all might not, but how do y'all keep in contact with the girls afterward? Because some girls, they want that long-term relationship.
Yes. So I know I can say for me at least, you know, their parents always have my contact, and, you know, a lot of them, as Stargrace was saying during break, that she also reached out to a lot of school counselors to see if anybody's contestants were interested in joining.
Right.
And we have that kind of connection. A lot of these girls are tied back to the community or other women that are in our chapter.
Right.
So we can still keep in contact with them for sure. I definitely plan on it, and we plan on inviting them to events, their parents to events, siblings, all that to events, and Gabby can speak more on how she's gonna keep in contact with the older girls.
Okay. So as of right now, they all have my personal contact information. We've all shared numbers in the group chat, like I touched on. They text me almost every day, rather, hey, I'm getting this gown for the pageant. Do you think it's cute? I'm like, yes, I love it. We've always talked about they do want to be with the Miss Ogle and Black and stuff that I hold. They do want to show up. They do want to be there, and they came to some of my events even before the pageant had started. So, which I applaud them on as well. But we do keep in contact. They do want to keep in touch for just like further reference if they need help, like with confidence in another pageant or just day by day. They know to reach out to me for sure.
That's good. So you have all the contact information on the stream if y'all want to reach out to them. I encourage the mothers to reach out. Start now. Don't wait till next year because they might be full. I don't know. You know, I'm praying that they be full. You know. So back to you, Ms.
Okay, and one of the other ways that we keep contact, we are fortunate to have educators in all the schools that our contestants are in. So they will see someone representing the blue and white family on a daily basis while they're at school. And our winners will be able to participate in Juneteenth parades. They will help us with community service. And one of the things we have, our sorority is unique because we have youth auxiliaries. And we have pearlettes who are for the younger girls. We have the amiquettes for the middle. And then we have orchinettes. And actually, 3 of our contestants are in the youth auxiliary groups.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. Wow. So you're always keeping them busy. They're able to contact you anytime they want to. I say, come on, now what kind of group? I wish I was 17. I'm telling you, because I didn't. But I know I can't pass for 17. Maybe it's 27. But you know what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so one of the ways that I'd say for sure is through our youth auxiliary groups. You know, every parent thinks of, you know, okay, I'm going to put them in sports, I'm going to put them in dance, I'm going to put them in gymnastics. But, you know, sometimes they don't think like, okay, well, these organizations, these sororities and fraternities, there are youth groups for their children. That doesn't mean that they have to grow up and go into that organization, even though we would love that, absolutely, for sure. But, you know, there's other ways that you can get them involved that, you know, isn't, you know, sports or something like that. Because not every kid's a sports kid.
Right.
But if you still want them to be involved in something and you want to put them in something that just gets them out of the house, off the phone, I would highly recommend a youth auxiliary group because it's another way to not only get connections for when you are, you know, aging up in life and getting ready to go to college, but it's also ways to give back to the community that you live in. It also teaches them, you know, just structure and, you know, just responsibilities. There's a lot of things that that are good from coming into these auxiliary groups.
Right.
That's one way I would say for sure we would keep in contact with, and that's one of my own goals moving into the new sorority here in July. I want to, see if I can get a little more hands-on with the youth.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hands on. Okay, say for instance someone is watching out there, including myself, and we want to pour in to you guys. We want to be able to support. How can we do that?
The main way is stay abreast with our Facebook page, because we always doing our events and announcing our events on our page, and then you can contact us through that particular media.
Okay.
And a lot of us are, known in the community, and they know how to contact us, so they can feel free to contact us personally too. Most people do have our number, know how to get in touch with us.
And y'all are a nonprofit organization, right? Just in case someone wants to do their tax write-off. So they are a nonprofit organization, okay?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. What you got?
We have 17, I think we talked about it, but we have 17 young ladies that are in the pageant for Saturday.
That is a lot.
We had 17, and we had more, but for different reasons, they, changed their mind or couldn't continue. So, yeah, we're excited about that. And after the pageant, we reset. We have our retreat in August, starting our planning for the new year.
Right.
This year is our Boule year. What that is our national conference. We have every other year. So in July, we'll be going to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize our Louisiana State Director, who is Carmelita B. Roberts, who is actually my intake sister at, we came in through Grambling State University in fall of '91. We have our regional director, Retta Washington McCoy, and our president and CEO, Dr. Stacy N.C. Grant. So those are our leaders that we, they set the tone and we just kind of follow along.
Right, right. And I know you said you was having this event at where? I want to be sure the people know.
Martin Luther King, Boys and Girls.
Okay, and is there anybody else, because I know it's important and sometimes you can't think of everybody, but I know plenty of people have supported and helped you. Do you want to shout them out? Anybody else?
Is there anybody specific? Just thank you for everybody who agreed to be a part of this program.
And they've been supporting us by buying tickets and also buying the ads, so we appreciate that. And you will be able to pay at the door. If they didn't buy a ticket in advance, it's fine, you can pay at the door.
Right.
So y'all hear that? You can pay at the door. So if you haven't paid, and I want to encourage y'all to go out and support these ladies, because they are doing something big for our girls, and I'm waiting on somebody to rise up for the men. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there, but we need somebody to rise up for the boys, so this is very important. I know for me, as a mother that had girls, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have some grand girls coming up after a while. This is something that I would want them in, and each one of these ladies, as I'm sitting here with them, their spirit is just so calm and unique, and each one of them is different. So I really want y'all to go out and support them Saturday. And what time does this event start?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock that evening. You go out and support them. Okay, what else you got back here behind me? I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you.
I was really thinking back there.
I would say for sure I want to shout out parents too really quick. Thank you to the parents of these girls, because without you, this would not have paid off the way that it did. So shout out to them for sure.
Yeah, I want to shout out all my girls that participated. They put their best foot forward every practice we had, and I really appreciate it.
Again, and thank you to the parents, because it wouldn't be possible without the cooperation also of the parents. And I have had some people contact me that's going to be ready for next year. It was after the registration date, like way after the registration date. So I got that, and I got your numbers down. I'll be calling you next year.
That's good. I can see this thing just really blowing up big. So just thinking right off, what is, and I probably tapped in on this a little bit, but what is your vision? Because I'm seeing bigger. I'm seeing not just Natchitoches. I don't know about y'all. I'm seeing just really going out and just really doing something big for these girls. What is y'all's vision? I might be adding on to, tell me something.
I'll speak. For me, I would say the vision that I have is I would love to continue pouring into Natchitoches. Absolutely, this is the parish that we're in and that our chapter is in. But also just knowing that you don't have to just be a Natchitoches. You don't have to know a Zeta to join this. You don't have to have a bunch of money. I know a lot of parents, they hear pageant and they think the extreme. They think toddlers and tiaras, and I want them to know no, your child does not have to be all dolled up in makeup. You don't have to have the $1,000 dress. It's very much come as you are, and we want to pour into you. That's why we have these sponsors in the chapter that are helping, you know, pick out outfits, or hey, do you have everything you need? Here's how we can sell ads. Like, it's very much a team effort. It's not like, you know, okay, well, I want my kid to be the best. Of course, everybody wants their child to win, but it's a group effort, and it's one where you don't have to, you know, come from a lot to join. It's you know, come as you are, no matter what age, from, you know, 5, like we said, 5 to 17.
Right.
And it's just one of those things that we want to see grow as much as we possibly can. I would love for next year for us to have more girls, even though it is very demanding to have a lot of young girls. But it's so rewarding to see it come to fruition with, like I said, all ages, and it's not just, you know, a small group of girls.
So basically, what you're saying, if you have a parent and she probably, you know, don't have much, and she really want her daughter to be in it, y'all do have certain programs, or the parent can go out and help support.
You'll
find a way, in other words.
We will find a way.
So you're not gonna say no; they gonna say yeah, and then they have other programs that you can come and support. You know, especially the parent.
What I can say is I know for my girls, it's their first time participating in something community-based, or like putting themselves out there. So it's like their first step in getting involved in the community and have those leadership skills and getting involved, because I kind of instill that in them. Natchitoches is a wonderful city. There's a little love and care. So they know to kind of now go out in the community, take every opportunity they can, take those leadership roles, and grow as a young woman.
That's good.
And I will say that Gabby has done that, because that's how I met her.
Wow.
Another organization that I'm in, we were doing Thanksgiving baskets, and the Alphas were donating turkeys. And they called me up and they said, look, our old Miss Black and Gold wants to donate turkeys to her and her mom. So we invited them out, and they came out and brought turkeys. And I've seen her in other community organizations where from this pageant, where I didn't know her before the pageant, but now we kind of see her everywhere in the pageant. So I think that's great that she goes out into the community. And hopefully some of these girls will do the same thing.
Yes, and you talked a little bit about like how do we balance stuff. I want everyone to know, like, you don't have to be, even if you're young, and you still want to be active in the community. I'm younger and I work a full-time job, but there's always something going on. Like we've said, all these initiatives that we have, there's always something going on. There's always a way that you can be involved, and seeing Gabby involved in a lot of things as a nursing student herself, you know, it's a lot, but it's very doable for sure. It's not something that's impossible. As long as, you know, you have that drive, you have that passion for it, it absolutely can get done.
Exactly. That is beautiful. I mean, I'm just so excited. I don't know about y'all. I mean, I'm like thinking of who little girl I can go get find and put it in there, you know, because this is exciting. Any last words?
We're just excited, and one of the things we did is that we did speak with the parents about sportsmanship, because we know everybody can't win. We want them to just enjoy the experience.
Yes.
Although we will recognize each young lady for participation.
Oh, that's
there
good.
can only be one queen per category.
Right.
So
that's good, and that's very important, you know, because sometimes I know I'm a parent and I want my baby to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's important, and I have never saw it done like that. Well, we still gonna encourage y'all, even though you didn't win. But I'm gonna give you a little something here, and maybe next year you might be the winner. Just keep on encouraging them, and I think that is very important for young ladies to be encouraged.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things I was told the little ones too, because little ones they think everyone's gonna get a crown. And it's like, well, there's only one queen, and they kind of like, oh well, I want it, and like just kind of instilling in them that sportsmanship, and like their parents kind of have already instilled that in them as well. But we just let them know ourselves too, like, hey, there is only like one winner per category, but for the younger ones, there's always next year. Even for the older ones that are 17 and going up elsewhere, there's always another pageant for you to join, and you always have a connection through us. If they ever need help, they know that like you can come to me or Miss Gabby. We are there to help them and support them through all their endeavors.
Well, I know it's only going to get better and better, and so just right off the top of your head, because like I say with me, each trip that I do, I try to make it better and better. And so what are y'all seeing as far as the future, or adding anything extra? Because people think, okay, it's just pageant, you just walk down the aisle or whatever. Sometimes you can make it better and better as each year. So what is your vision? What are you thinking about kind of adding to it, or if not?
Definitely want to have more young ladies. We thought about adding an additional category to kind of break it up some. Just being our first one, we've seen a lot of things already that we need to work on and improve. We're going to give out surveys to the judges and the parents to help us build on what we can do better.
Okay, that sounds good. Wow. Okay, any more?
I was to say for us at least, I would love to see another category, maybe like talent or something. And people think talent, oh, I have to sing or I have to dance. No, I've seen pageants where girls have done science projects on stage.
Wow.
And I've seen some that have painted on stage. Gabby, she can talk about her experience in pageants, but her talent like blew me away. She told me in her interview when I was judging of Miss Old Black and Gold that she was going to do a talent she's done since she was younger. I'm thinking dance, but Gabby's helped me what she did.
So my talent is always karate. I'm a blue belt in Filipino boxing and Kempo karate. So it gives you a good way to like express yourself. Because I think people have the stigmatism around pageant being like, oh, you just have to be cute, put on a little makeup, whatever. But it's way more than that. It's about that smart, having confidence in yourself, and just showing your personality.
Wow. Are you? So I'm not messing with you at all. Okay? And then you sitting behind me? Wow. We're getting ready to round it up. As we round it up, I want you to tell them just one more time, how can they join or how can they help and support?
You can help support by attending the pageant on Saturday at 4 o'clock at the MLK Center. And if you come in and you have a little girl that you may want to put in for next year, just let them know at the registration table or at the door, and we'll take your information.
All right, y'all. That ends our 95.9 The Bounce. This was the longest one. I'm not gonna lie.
Of my life.
Yeah, look at I'm not moving. This is not I'm a behind the scenes kind of.
I've had with recruits, like I just have to when I have like recruits for certain sports that I'm over.
Right.
I'm like, how long are we sitting this meeting for? How long are we presenting this to you?